Hello guys and girls. Well, I think it's about time I did a video log on the car. It's been a while since I've done anything on here, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Well, I'm using the car pretty much for work 3 days a week and for any other things I do. The car is ready for its MOT. This day last year was the day it had its MOT that it failed on. So in, I think it's 3 or 4 days time, it had its, last year it would have had its retest and passed. So it's still got an MOT on it, but it means I do need to get it booked in. I've just been out, I've not had it running or anything, but I've just been out, crawled under the car and tightened the handbrake up. But as you can see, there's been a few modifications, I suppose, done to it now. More paint and whatnot. Some rope added to the front. Lights on the front, things like that. Where's the wolf gone? You need to keep off the road, dog. Come on, Luna. Yeah, my indicators are a bit bent now. That's why I've been pushing things. Probably pushing some of the containers around at work. Pros of working in a scrap yard, you can't really damage anything that's already damaged, so this is pretty damaged. So just had a look underneath, of course, when I was doing the handbrake. Everything under there looks perfectly fine, quite nice. My key fob's got a bit bigger now, got a USB rechargeable torch and quite a nice bright torch now. This one here, which takes a 18660 battery. It's quite small. You show it in the reflection of the glass, you turn it on, wait a minute, you turn it on, it goes into moonlight mode. Do it again, it goes to the next brightness. Again it goes to the next brightness, and the final brightness, oh wait a minute, no, I got it wrong. Oh, I must have got it all the way. That's my other torch I've got mistaken with. So yeah, it goes to that brightness. It's pretty, oh there you go, that's the max brightness. It's pretty bright, it's good. The battery doesn't last 5 minutes in it though, but that's why you carry spares. We'll just have a quick peek under the car to see what it looks like, because I know you guys haven't seen under here for quite some time, since the video restoration logs. Let's have a look. Everything looks pretty good, no oil leaks or bad oil leak. Oh, there you go, that's the battery gone already. If I put it down to the next brightness mode, it shouldn't. It should take a while to go. There we go. So yeah, there's some oil leaks around the gearbox, but all Fiat Pandas have that. Everything's working good. Fuel tank is good. Brakes are horrific, but they all are. They are on the other one as well. Prop shaft works fantastic. It's got me out of a sticky situation a few times, quite literally. Gear linkages are pretty bad, even though I did tighten them up last time, but they've gone all loose again. And I'll show that in the car. But yes, underside's pretty good. The leaky brake caliper on this side didn't turn out to be a leaky brake caliper at all. It actually turned out just to be the excessive amount of copper slip that I put, on all the moving parts of the brake. Obviously not on the brake disc itself, because that's just stupid. No, I put copper slip behind the brake pads and where the brake moves in and out of the caliper. Oops, the car's even locked. So I'll unlock the car. Right. Let's have a quick peek here. Wires hanging out, of course. Don't have it any other way. Yeah, back in the old car. Very good. Yeah, everything's alright. Upgraded the little lights in the winter time. It was a bit annoying having the very dull bulb, so I've stuck a little what do you call it, LED one in there, which is bright enough. The other one's just for aesthetics purposes. It's actually a 24 volt bulb, but it's cool. Got myself a new camera now. Purchased this one off Gumtree. It's a fairly new one. It still had the sticker on it, in fact. The reflective screen. Very good, very recommended. I'm not sure of the model of it, but it's a Nextbase one. I don't think it's a very particularly good Nextbase model camera, but it does the job. It's sort of a hybrid touchscreeny kind of thing. Don't know if, I think it's only a 1080, but it might do higher up. It's got HD output on there, which is a HDMI. Good camera. It does the job quite nicely. Let's put the ignition on actually and see all the cool things light up. There we go. Don't know how I got the batteries on this camera. It's down to one segment, which is not good. All the lights work now, which is good. They packed up. My oil light packed up for a while. I just ended up smacking the crap out of the dashboard. We've got some music there. We don't want to get done for copywriting. It's Pied Piper, I think it is. Lights. I always leave my side lights on. Don't know why. Well, I do because they're hooked into my cool lights on the front. Radio, which is currently turned off. Nobody on it naturally, but I always leave it on. Turn it off because there was annoying people on there when I had a passenger talk in the car. Embarrassing when people come over effing and blinding and you got a passenger in the car and you're like, hmm? Yeah, little cool features I've got. You can see this is in gear at the moment. That's in third, and I've got this much play, which, to be fair, is not as much as what it used to have, or in fact what my other one used to have until I tightened it up, but it's still bad. That's in and out of gear, but that is still in gear. So there you go, that's fourth. Neutral, which is there. So with neutral play it's like this, you know, and then it's in third and it's like, yeah, you people with new cars don't get this problem. But yeah, I've made nice use out of a insulator that come into the scrapyard from off some high voltage equipment. It's just a rubber grommet insulator thing. You can play around with it, and also put a hairball in there because I've got long hair. In case one snaps, I've got one spare. But that's all cool. The original boot's at the bottom still doing its job. Quite funny, we went through some very deep water in this car, and it was that deep. The boot, the rubber boot, which just literally pushes on. If you pull this off, you can see the road underneath there. It burst up and all water fountained up in the car, which was quite nice. Yes, we got soaked. You can probably still see some of the aftermath on the dashboard. The water just around the plate. Yeah, got a bit of a naughty boy here. As you can see, everything is nice and secure. Everything is loose and whatnot. Dashboard is all loose and whatnot. And get massive gaps in the dashboard. My LCD GPS speedometer, because this one is massively out. You'll be doing 30 miles an hour on this speedo here, and you'll only be going 25 miles an hour on this one here, and this one's 2 miles an hour out at that as well. That reads 2 miles an hour over the speed, so actually you're doing only 28 miles an hour, which is, I suppose it's better to do that. It might annoy some people behind you, but good if you don't want a speeding ticket. Could do again some fuel. Not too bad though. Got a radar detector, which is just more for aesthetics than actual use. Everywhere I go, there's no speed cameras anywhere. Well, there is, but they don't use them. They're all disconnected. Yeah, hour meter is slowly counting up more and more. 195 hours, I think that is. Well, it could be. No, actually, it's more than that. It's 1,958, I think that is. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. I've not been doing that many hours in the car. It's just normal commuting to work and back and various other things. The mileage has just shot up to 129,000 now. Hopefully in the next year I'll get probably, I don't know, 130, 132 or 33. I don't do many miles in the car. It's only for short commuting, this car is. It's got quite a reputable following now throughout of Derby, the city I live in. A lot of people know the car, and a lot of people hate the car. I normally park it outside of where I work, which is normally on a roundabout, although I've had a lot of people complain about it. And I've not been told personally, but apparently people in the council don't like it being parked there, but I've not had any messages, notifications or anything, so maybe it might, you know, when it's dried up a little bit and the ground's not boggy or anything, maybe it might go parking there again. You know, obviously if I'm not doing any damage, if everything's dry and I'm not causing any ruts or anything, to be fair, the lorries do more damage on the roundabout, but because my car's always parked there, I always get the blame for it. And I'd be very happy to show people that my car is nowhere near as wide as a lorry. because my car doesn't fit in the ruts, you know, in the grooves that the wheels make of a lorry. So I'll be like, yeah, it can't be my car because look at this. But yeah, but it's going good. My LED strips died. The switch here has died on it. You can see that's the aperture closing down there. Yeah, it's just cables come off. I can soon fix it back on again, but it's been arsed. So yeah, I got rid of my old dash cam, but the mount's still in there. I've not took it off yet. Don't think I'm going to bother taking it off. Here at the back, it's a mess. I've got some nice brush there, which I was thinking of putting on the back of the car and using it as sort of like a mud flap that goes along the whole rear of the car. You know what I mean? A bit like how lorries have it on the back of their mud flaps. I was going to do the same thing on this. Come from the scrapyard naturally. Just got some bungee leads in the top there. Still got the old dash cam in the rear, which isn't connected anymore. I wish I really did have a rear dash cam. It's only the cold weather that's caused the dash cam to pack up. And it's warm, it works fine, but when it's cold it won't start. What else? Nothing really. Vacuum gauge, yeah, we know that, we've seen that before. Let's try and start it up, make sure it's out of gear. And no foot on the pedal or anything. Oh, I'll have to do my immobiliser, which is just simply pushing the button. You get all of the pumps prime. I don't know if you've seen any of that. The light goes out. I'll just do that again. Actually, I can't because I've just turned the immobiliser off, but whatever. Oh, and we get music again. Stop that. Oh, I like how my radio mutes. I didn't know it could do that. It mutes and keeps playing the bloody songs underneath it, which is nice. Why doesn't it pause? That's so much more of a better idea. Yeah, right. Let's give it a start then. Oh, it does this sometimes. I think it adds to the effect of the car. But now it'll start perfect. Wait. Now it'll start perfect. There you go. Much better. Starts and runs great. I've not done any servicing on the car yet. The engine has not had any servicing whatsoever. Stop playing music, damn it. My voltmeter that's there hiding behind my my moisture trap, which this car steams up quite a bit, so I've got a sock full of silica, you know, the bits that you sometimes get in new packs of shoes, or sometimes in electronics, like a little pack of silica gel. I just brought like 1,000 of them off eBay, chucked them all in a bag, you know, in an old sock, and then chuck it in my window, and then when it comes time to get the moisture out, I just throw it in the microwave, the one we've got in the garage. You know, the microwave abuse microwave. Check my other videos for that one. What can you put in a microwave? Well, the answer is everything. Yes. But engine's still looking pretty clean. You won't believe it, but this car has not had any kind of wash or you know, any kind of cleaning or anything since I put it on the road. In fact, I think the very first video was the one where I'm washing it, I think, and that was down the back there. And sorry about the wind noise, guys and girls. We'll go back in the car, I think. And that was the last time the car got washed. It's not been washed since. But yeah, it's nice and responsive on the throttle. It gets lots of abuse, of course. I don't thrash it from cold. I never do that. I always let it warm up first. But as soon as it's warmed up, it always gets a good foot to the decking every now and then, just to give it a bit of a clear out. Yeah. What more is there to say, guys? Horn's still terrible. I have got another horn on this thing, a bit of a naughty boy horn, hence the big sirens on the roof. You know, these happy guys, which I've broke one of them. That was going through some trees when I was green laning. Got a nice light on the roof now, which bloody comes in handy because the headlights on this thing are horrific. Even though the headlights on this thing, I replaced them to be better, they are still pretty bad. Yes, not bad at all. I've got my two just lights at the bottom, which I'm going to disconnect for the MOT. I don't know if they'll fail it on those or not, but if they're not wired in, they can't really fail them. Steaming like it always does. You think it's got head gasket failure, but it's not. It just does that. Never loses water, never overheats. It's a pretty good engine. I've noticed that I've got a very nice kink in that exhaust there. That must be reducing the outflow of it a little bit. I might just saw it off, you know. Don't know what, you know. It's only got the bend, the curved bend, because Fiat Pandas come with a tent sometimes. Some of them came with a tent, and the exhaust had to be made so it curved around away from the tent, so you could have the engine running, but obviously it's not filling the tent up because the tent fits to the back of the car with the boot open. But yeah, spare wheel's going to be flat. Yep, it's naturally flat as a pancake. I don't know if this light still works. Oh yeah, it's still going. That's good. My two side lights are working. That's great. The marker lights. I'm pretty sure all the lights on the back of the car work. But when it goes in for an MOT, it's just going to go in as it is, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if it fails. We'll see what they say. I know the rear wiper on this thing is pretty horrific, but what's going to happen to this is it's just going to get taken off, because I know they can fail it on the wiper not working properly. So if it will, I'll just take it off like that. Now they can't fail it. If it ain't there, they can't fail it. And if it's covered, they can't fail it. There's a couple of things I'm going to put some tape over. One of them's the bottom ball joint. It's just starting to leak. I've got the ball joints at work, the dust covers. So I will replace it. You know, just the dust cover. The ball joint itself's still fine. And when I did all the front end on this, I took all the ball joints apart and put fresh grease in them, but I never put new boots on them because I didn't plan on keeping the car, to be fair. But no, you know, I might keep the car, so yeah, I could do with doing something about that. Other than that, car's still going great. My ratchet straps are looking a little ropey on the roof nowadays. Very ropey. Look how bad they are. Oh wow, I didn't realise that was that bad. That's actually snapped. Yep, I need to take that off. Actually, I think someone's cut that because it looked like too much of a good cut. Oh, the other one's the same as well. We would have not liked to have gone down the motorway with them on the roof. So for what it takes, I'll just take those off. That's only happened in a few days as well, which is quite interesting, because they wasn't like that last week, because I took all this off and was carrying things on the roof. An electric push bike, actually, which I'm going to do a video on at some point in time. I'm going to try and get it running again. Good uses for old Hoover pipes, just fit them in the roof somewhere, just to add to the effects. Got a bit of a tree stuck in the roof as well. Sorry about that, guys and girls. The battery's gone flat on my camera, so I guess that's the end of the video. So until next time, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, everyone. I'm going to take them barrels off now. Catch you later.